Hey everyone, my name is Danny Gruning. I'm the Vice President of Marketing here at CreativeWorks, and today we're joined by a special guest, Kelly Miller, the owner of Next Door Escapes and Entertainment. And Kelly, I'm just going to throw it your way. Why don't you introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about your business and why you wanted to get started in this industry?
My name is Kelly Miller. I am, like he said, the owner of Next Door Escapes. We're out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. I got started in this industry on accident, actually. I have a medically complex kiddo who needed me to work my own business and be my own boss. So I have always loved escape rooms. My family travels and plays escape rooms as kind of we're in Chicago. What else are we going to do? Play a room. So we started Next Door to bring a really unique, really positive escape room experience to Tulsa. The city's kind of growing up a little bit, and we wanted our escape rooms around here to grow up with it. So it's been a really great time.
Well, that's fantastic. You had mentioned you kind of accidentally found your way in this industry, and I feel like that's how so many of us enter. We kind of accidentally fall into it, but then once we're in it, we never want to leave because it's the fun industry. Who doesn't want to be here, right?
It is. All my employees all the time are like, I have such a fun job.
That's exactly what we love hearing. So, one of the things is that we provided the marketing launch package for you, and one of those pieces is a custom press package with Prosper Communications. Could you talk about what that experience was like working with Prosper?
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. So I was on the news a couple of times as a result of that, which was kind of intimidating, but also very fun. They were so great to work with. Communication was phenomenal. They put together a press release and sent it out for us in anticipation of our big launch day, our grand opening day. And they actually got some feedback before we launched our grand opening. So we had a news team come out before we had even opened, kind of an opening in the downfall of this COVID pandemic and kind of talk about what that time period was like. We also had somebody randomly reach out to us on our Facebook page and ask if we could help coordinate a proposal at our facility, and we were able to tie that in with our news story as like, look at this fun thing we can do for you at Next Door. And he did a great job of including kind of some of the fun unique pieces that we had going on our business and communicating those to news stations. It was a lot of fun. One of the news stations reached out to me within the last couple weeks and was like, I want to do a follow-up story on your business. So we're still seeing benefits from that press release. We've been open for 3 months now. So
it's great whenever news stories can cover your business and tell your story to a broader audience. And like you mentioned, it was picked up by the news. What was the community response after it was featured on the news station?
Yeah, so we got picked up by 2 different news stations. 23 and 6 are 2 big local news stations. They're the 2 that he had really identified as ones we really wanted to nail. One of them went well. The story was, like I said, more COVID related and like, what's it like opening a business in the middle of COVID? Another one of them, we had a news anchor and her videographer actually came and played a room. And then kind of she shared on her experience as she played the room. And that went over very, very well. She kind of challenged people in the community to like, come see if you can do it better than me. And I had several people calling. We had a very busy 2 weekends immediately following those stories running with, I saw you guys on the news. I saw you on the news. It was very fun.
I heard that you had so much buzz and interest from the community after those news stories that you actually had to open up bookings earlier than expected. Can you tell us about that experience?
Yeah, so like I said, he had gotten a hold of our story before our grand opening date. We had some bookings open. We were going to invite friends and family to come out and like test run with us and let my employees get really familiar with the rooms before we, grand open launched. And people started calling in the middle of our test run time. So one of my other managers was like, let's do it, I guess. So we made it pretty clear to them, like, we're still learning, but we gave a discount and said, come on out. And we had really great response from the community of like, everybody was very eager to help a new business get started. And they were comfortable with like, oh, hey, we had a fudge here or there that we had to smooth over. And we, about a week and a half early, had to start running rooms because we kind of blew up.
Running rooms early and blowing up is probably a good problem to have.
I was not complaining.
No complaints at all. From the point where you started those early bookings and now you've been open for a few months, what have the customer reactions been to the escape rooms that you have?
Really positive. So we have, I before we opened, I identified 5 kind of major competitors in our area, and we are by far the most tech heavy of the rooms. We constantly hear like, oh, you guys are so much more immersive than other rooms that I've done, or you guys are so much more, it's not just locks and keys everywhere. It's a whole experience, and it really is kind of thinking outside of the box, and just those puzzles are really unique. We get really good feedback from pretty much all ages. I mean, we did a volleyball team of 14-year-old girls came and played 2 weekends ago, and I was kind of worried about like a bigger group of younger brains, and we've had such a fun time.
Let me ask you, what would you say to another entertainment operator, whether they're looking to start a new business or if they're already operating an existing business? What would you say to someone else who's considering Creative Works for their escape rooms?
I genuinely cannot brag on the Creative Works experience enough. I researched and researched and researched when we wanted to open a set of rooms. I went back and forth. Are we going to write them ourselves? Are we going to purchase? Where are we going to purchase from? Are we going to purchase a story and then develop the props? Like, there's so many options for escape room owners to do it at really every level. And I compared costs and all of the things. I mean, months of research. And when we finally decided to go forward with Creative Works, I was nervous, right? Like, you guys off in the sky are going to build this whole thing and then show up with it, and it's just going to be perfect and ready to go. And that's exactly what happened. Like, it was so seamless. And Steve was our project manager, and I adore him. The communication was on point. The marketing package was a huge help. You get what you pay for, right? There's so much value added here that was beyond what I even think I understood in those beginning like sales calls. I have had such a positive experience working with this team. I cannot wait for our next room install. We've already been talking about putting Pharaoh's Revenge in the suite next door. It's all fine. So.
Well, we really appreciate the kind words, and I'll make sure to pass those along to Steve as well, and I know he'll want to hear them. My last question for you is this. What would you say to another operator who's considering adding the marketing launch package to their overall attraction package?
I would, absolutely would. There was such a kickstart at the beginning of our business. So that package, we also received some 3D scans of the room and professional photography done in there. And those were hugely helpful. I mean, I could stand in the room with my iPhone if I wanted to, but it just, it's a different level of being able to offer things to your guests. The press releases and the news release and getting that momentum, because honestly, if opening a new business is scary and getting guests in the door, like, you're trying a lot of different things, and the momentum that we had just getting all of that right off of the block to get going and to get help getting the word out, I think was a total game changer. I mean, we hit 400 Facebook likes that week that those news stories went out because people just started talking. If you're looking for a really straightforward way to get a lot of just gusto, I think it was a no-brainer.
Well, Kelly, thank you so much for joining us today, sharing some of your experience both with our team as well as our partners who helped put on this marketing launch package. I hope a lot of other people got value out of this conversation, so thank you very much.
Thanks for inviting me.